Before we deal with the extra statements, thank you. We did deal earlier with Exhibit HH22, which is SAPS 15 document. It's marked on the police hard drive, for those who have the benefit of the police hard drive, 001020. Now, when it was handed in, there was a problem because the document, which is more accurately described as the rear side of the document, wasn't, or the reverse side, wasn't attached.
Yes.
And has that problem now been sorted out?
Chair, we subsequently established that the second page to that document is the rear side of what SABC was referring to.
Yes.
It's always nice when council describe documents elegantly. Now, there are two more like that, which I don't think we marked. This is the 1020. So there's one more I've been handed, which I don't think we've marked, which is from the Rustenburg POP. It's 001045. I have in my hand a copy of both the front side as well as the reverse side of this document. Do you persist in wanting to use that document?
Not now, Chairperson, because what I wanted to do, I wanted to confirm with the SAPS those documents, then I can make use of it.
I've got a statement of Constable Benjamin and a statement of
not on record.
Sir. I'm not on record. Yes, I've got three statements in my hand that were given to me.
Yes,
I don't know whether I should have other documents as well. One is a statement by Constable Benjamin.
Yes, Chairperson.
Another is a statement by Constable, looks like Maguyi.
Yes, Chairperson.
MGUYE. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing the name correctly.
Yes, Chairperson.
And the last is one by Constable. Looks like
Joseph Sekhuleya.
Sekhuleya, thank you for pronouncing it for me.
Yes.
Are those the three documents that you still want to refer to?
Yes.
Give me the order in which you want them, and we'll mark them.
Maybe if you can start with the statement of Constable Katleho Joseph Sekhuleya, we mark it.
We'll mark that one HH29, and that statement of Constable, how does he spell his name?
Joseph.
Isn't too clear. It looks like SEXE, is it? WELEYA.
Yes.
Okay. That will be exhibit HH29. Then the next one?
The next statement is that one of Constable Nkosana Shepeko Mkuye.
The statement is ngoku ke sikaSikholeya uConstable nesikaMguyo.
This is Mguyi, Constable Mguyi, is it?
Yes.
Polisa uMguyi.
30 statement of Constable MGUYE, and the next one HH31
is statement of Constable Mahume Benjamin.
Esesithathu ke Polisa uMahume Benjamin.
And that will be exhibit HH31. They're all constables. Constable Benjamin.
Yes.
All right, so we've got them in the order in which you referred to them.
Yes. We do have another one.
Hang on a second.
Okay.
Yes, the key passage in exhibit HH29 appears to be the foot of page 1. Is that right? And the last line is missing on them, the photostat I've got.
Yes.
I don't think anything turns on the missing line. Have you got? Do we know what the missing line is?
No, Chairperson.
All right. Well, then
the document was scanned. Then I printed it from.
And
then in in Triple H 30, it appears to be at the top of page 2, the second to the fourth line, I think. Is that right?
Yes.
And Triple H 31
is on.
The key passage again appears to be
second page.
Well, it's the last line on the first page,
yes,
followed by the first 4 lines on the second.
Yes,
is that correct?
Yes, Chairperson.
Kweli lesibili into ebalulekile sekugqibeleni phaya kwikhasi lesibili kude kube vakale sezine kwelilandelayo.
Are you going to put them as a whole to the witness or one by one?
I'm going to read it one by one, then I will allow the witness to comment.
All right.
Yes. Ndiza kuwafunda ke ngalinye ngalinye ukuthi emva koko ndibuza ukuba uthini ngawo general.
Let me start with the statement of General Constable Katleho Sekholeya, that is Triple H 29.
Ndizawuqala ngelika Constable Sekholeya.
Are you in possession of that statement, General?
Uliphethe apho kuwe General?
Correct, Chairperson.
Ewe ndinalo.
When you go at the bottom of that page,
phaya ngasekugqibeleni.
Can I read it for your benefit, General?
Yes,
Mandifundele yona.
The general can read it for himself, but you can read it for the benefit of the people in the auditorium who haven't got the document in front of them, and those who are watching on television.
Ngaphandle kokuthi akufanele
Can anyone help us with the last line?
Wabo bamamele kumabonakude nakumathotho.
That, of course, is the difficulty of presenting statements of people who are not here, Chair, because then the person who deposed to this statement will be able to say what's missing in that line.
Uthi umhlekazi ungalwane nansi ke ingxaki esinayo ukuba kubizwe kufakwe istatements abantu bangekho apha xa kukho izinto ezingavelanga kwe-statements abo ngabo abakwazi ukuchaza ukuba bebathini apho.
But is there not a copy of this statement which shows what is contained in that last line?
It's an IPID statement, Chair, for what I understand. So it's not a question. It's not a statement that we took. So we received it like this.
Yes, I see. We were given copies of the IPID statements. Do we know where the originals are?
We don't.
Mr. Gumbi, do you know? Did you just get photocopies of IPID documents, or have you seen the original of the statement?
No, I haven't seen the original. This document I retrieved it from the SAPS hard drive.
You got the SAPS? No, it wasn't the SAPS hard drive. I think are the IPID statements on the SAPS hard drive, or was there a special IPID hard drive? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Anyway, this particular one doesn't actually help us very much anyway, because the statement simply reads, talked about how they were going off to the copy, and then the instruction was given to disperse them with CS and with rubber bullets. CS was used and. Yes. So it doesn't say who gave the instruction.
Yes.
So that's the first one. So
yes.
The second one is Triple H 30. That's
second
Constable in Gree's statement.
Yes. And it reads as follow: while they were escorting, instruction was given that they must disperse and disarm.
They must be dispersed.
Yes, must be dispersed and disarmed, and 1 CS to be used.
SSB ke sithi kwaphuma umyalelo wokuba mabasasazwe ababantu bahlakahlakazwe babanje kusetshenziswe ne-CS.
1 CS was thrown to them and they started attacking the police.
Kutheke xa kugibisela i-CS lena base behlasela amapolisa.
That is a statement of Constable Mkuye.
Apha ke intetho kaConstable Mkuye live ifundwayo.
Then we have another one of Constable Mahume Benjamin, that is Triple H 31.
Bulandele ke esi sika Constable Benjamin esizawufundwa.
If you can go at the bottom of that page, General, that should be paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Paragraph 5.
Aya ngasekugqibeleni kulesi statement, paragraph 5.
It reads as follow: Then General Mpembe gave order / instruction to escort them. As they were walking, same police official went back to the cars. I was walking close to the general. And then the next page, and he gave instruction to disarm the mine lookers who were on strike. He, general, in bracket, instructed to use 1 CS and 2 rubber peppersin who was walking on the field or open space. Then one member fired a CS. It landed inside the group. Then they ran towards the police official. 2 of the participants came straight to me with pangas on their hands.
Uthetha ngolo hlobo ke uthi kuthe xa kusenjalo xa behamba uGeneral Mpembe uyena okhipha umyalelo wokuba mabanqandwe ababantu. Uthe kusenjalo kwase kukhutshwa imyalelo ukuba mabathathelwe izixhobo ababasebenzi mgodini ebebese strikeini. Wathi uGeneral makusetshenziswe iCS kuthe xa kugibisela le CS ababasebenzi basebeza kuye bephethe izixhobo.
If I may wrap up that point again, Chairperson, can I refer the Commission to another exhibit that was presented during the cross-examination by Mr. Madlanga?
Well, before my learned friend goes there, H31, Chair, seems incomplete, so perhaps our learned friend can tell us what's contained in the other paragraphs that may be there.
Umhlekazi Ngalwana uveza kokuba lento egqiba ukuyifunda ngoku umhlekazi ayiphelelanga njengoba ifunda bakho izinto ezithize ezingekho ezingaveli.
Yes, we noted that, Chairperson, even when you go to the IPIT file, you don't find any page except these 2 pages I've presented before this Commission.
Uvumelana naye umhlekazi uGumbi uthi na kwifile le ye-IPT siyasafumana lamakhasi amabini phela awekho amanye.
Well,
you want to refer to another document now?
Yes, Chairperson.
I mean, you can't do any better than the documents you got from IPID. And the statement ends dealing with something else, namely the people going off to the shacks, and it appears that the grammar's not very good, but it appears that the deponent then withdrew to check those who'd been hacked.
Yes.
Anyway, you put the passages. You now want to put something else. Shouldn't you give the witness a chance now to deal with the passages?
Esi statement gqibela ngokuthi ke baleka ababantu bangena ematyotyombeni phaya wabesejika ke yena ebuya umva ayojonga aba banqwelekhilileyo.
Yes, Chairperson. There's another one that is outstanding, if I can just sum up this point.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gumbi. There's something I should have put to you before you carry on to the point you're making.
Yes.
And that's in the penultimate paragraph of Exhibit H31. The following appears. When I was close to General Mpembe, he screamed that we must shoot at the mine workers who were chopping the police with pangas. That's when I shot 2 rubber rounds, and they took it looks like a rifle from the police who was chopped and runned away. So this is obviously while the attack is going on. The suggestion is that the general then gave an order that the miners who were hacking at a policeman with a panga, that they should be shot, and that he then, the witness, the deponent, then did shoot rubber rounds, 2, I think he says. And the person who was being attacked then had his rifle taken away, and they then ran away. Now, that of course is something that happened after the attack had started.
Yes,
but it does involve the witness, so perhaps it would be helpful to get the witness's comment on the three statements you put to him before we move on to the next one.
Thanks very much.
Bonba masithole incazelo evela kuGeneral phambi kokuba uqhubeke ngenye into ngoba apha kuvela lento yokokuba uweva uGeneral emezo kokuba makudutshule ababantu bahlasela amapolisa ngephanga ezibaziphethe uthi ke omnye wabo wabesethatha umpu we-R5 kula mapolisa babaleka nawe yena kule polisa leli laligejengiwe.
Yes, can you comment, General? What is your comment?
Buza kuba uthini ngoku General kulento.
Chairperson, I'll comment on from each statement that was presented.
Mandiri impendulo kwesinye nesinye statement eziyazavezwa apha.
The one of Joseph Sekhwelea.
Kwesi sika Joseph Sekhwelea.
I don't know whether the member says that the instruction comes to me.
Andazi nokuba uthi lona lo myalelo wawuvela kumna.
I don't. I mean, the ones who just say there was an instruction don't say who gave the instruction. And you remember, Kuhn himself says he got an instruction, and he doesn't know who gave the instruction. He doesn't suggest it was you.
Njengoba esisho umhlali ngaphambili. Bonke bathi bafumana imiyalelo.
The one is whether an instruction was given. I understood your evidence to be you never heard an instruction be given. You didn't give one, and you never heard one being given. But presumably, if someone did it without a radio, right down the other end of the line near Kuhn, you wouldn't have necessarily heard it. Is that right?
If it was given not on the radio, yes.
You wouldn't necessarily heard it. Right? But of course, one of the witnesses says you gave the instruction. Now, you already denied that.
Yes, Chairperson, I'm also coming to that one because according to him, sorry, Chairperson, it got disappeared here from the papers. He says, I gave an instruction to use 1 CS, 1 rubber bullets per person.
1 CS and 2 rubbers per person.
Yes. And it's very strange to me that what type of instruction I gave, but I respect the hearing of the member. But I did not give such an instruction to use.
What's even funnier, actually, is that then only one person responded to this alleged instruction and fired 1 CS, but nobody else fired a CS. So if that instruction had in fact been given, I would have expected a number of other members also to have fired off 1 CS and 2 rubbers, but which didn't happen. Which makes me wonder whether there was an instruction at all, but that's something we don't have to debate with you. You just say you never heard the instruction, you didn't give it. That's your case, isn't it?
Chairperson, I need to add, I did give evidence. I'm on record to say when the protesters attacked the police did retreat. And when they retreated, I did scream to say, we have to move forward. But I never said shoot or what.
I see. So you also deny then the statement in the penultimate paragraph of Exhibit 831 that you screamed that they must shoot at the mine workers who were chopping the police with pangas. You deny that?
I only say I screamed for them not to retreat, but not to shoot, because I didn't say to shoot.
Do I assume that all the members there had tear gas canisters in their possession?
Correct, Chairperson. Members of POP.
It's all the POP people?
Yeah, POP people did have that.
Chair, the content of this cross-examination is rather confusing. Is my learned friend referring to H 30, the first paragraph on page 2, to suggest that it's the general who gave the order, or is it simply making a point that an order was given?
Uthinte emxakayo umhlekazi ungalwana ngokuba lento xa uyifunda phaya uthi kwathi bathi apha kwakhusha umyalelo akukho apha bathi wona wakhusha ngugeneral.
We don't normally allow one counsel to ask questions of counsel who are busy cross-examining. But the fact that I'm allowing it this time isn't going to be quoted as a precedent in a couple of minutes. But it is a sensible question, to be fair, which was asked by Mr. Ngwana. And I should have asked it before he did. But what is your answer to his query? What exactly are you putting? The first two statements that we're now dealing with, H 29 and 30, simply say an instruction was given. The witness already said he didn't hear an instruction, he didn't give one. But if it was not given over the radio, it was given by someone near Kuhn, he wouldn't have heard it.
Yes.
But the question that's you're being asked is, what exactly are you putting to the witness? Was there an instruction, are you saying? Or are you asking pertinently whether he gave the instruction referred to by these two witnesses who made these two statements?
I'm asking the witness, Chairperson, whether he gave instruction in the light of all these statements.
I think we've got his answer. He persists in his denial.
Yes, Chairperson.
Uyatsho umhlekazi ukuba umbuzo lo ubuzo kokuba yakhushwa nguyena leyo myalelo uthi umgcini ngaphambili kudala nje ikhanyela leyo nto usoyivile nawe.
Chairperson, I need this to be on record.
Uthi general ndithanda ukuba ndiyibeke ivakale le nto ibe serekhodini.
All the witnesses that were put to me as my colleagues, police officers, by Advocate Kumbi since this morning.
Onke lamangqina athetha ngawo angamapolisa oxabam umhlekazi uGumbi kusuka kusasa namhlanje.
With respect, none of them indicated the briefing that I gave to show the tolerance, the degree of tolerance that they should have exhibited to the protesters.
Akukho namnye kubo oyiveza le ntetho njengoba ndiyibekile phaya okokuba babe nonyamezelo bayibambe ngoluphi uhlobo lento.
I did use a Datani case to show how we could make a degree of tolerance, but none of them did not say it.
Abaxelela ukuba lento masiyiphathe ngendlela kungade kwenzeke isehlakalo esifana nalesiya esenzeka phaya kwisehlakalo sikatatane. Kodwa ndibona apha akho namnye wabo oyivezayo leyo nto ndayibeka kubo.
Some of them, they say it in their statements, but in their pocketbooks, and those that I know I've briefed them, they did not indicate it in their diaries.
Abanye ke bayithetha kwi-statements zabo kodwa kwi-pocketbook nakwi-diaries ezeziye zavezwa apha akho namnye oyivezayo le nto njengoba ndiyibekile.
Thanks, Chairperson.
Enkosi mhlekazi.
Can I refer you again, General? Another, I think, the last statement. The statement that was taken by Captain Tupe. And it's dated the 12th of December 2012.
Thetha apha nge-statement sokugqibela esathatha nguCaptain Tupe.
It was entered as an exhibit during the cross-examination by Justice Madlanga.
He was not yet then.
Yes, by then he was not yet. Yes. It was exhibit H 15.1. And that statement is dated 12 December 2012. It was taken long time ago after the Potchefstroom meeting.
Esi statement sathatha ngomhla ka-12 December 2012. Xesha elide emva kokuba senzekile eso sehlakalo.
And then when you check that statement, paragraph 3 of that statement also again it deals with the issue of instruction for firing of tear gas and redirecting the protesters. Though in that statement it did not mention you by name.
I haven't got my copy with me here. Would you be kind enough to read the paragraph for me so I can follow the point you're making?
Yes, Chairperson. I do apologize. It was on the list of... Yes. Yes, I included it on the list of the document I was going to refer to. But I'll read it on record, Chairperson. Can I read the whole content of paragraph 3, General? The participants refused to surrender their weapons, and while General Mpembe was still negotiating with them, they stood up and started to move towards the copy, and General Mpembe instructed us to follow and monitor them. While following and monitoring them, the protesters changed their direction and went straight towards the informal settlement. Then instruction was given for firing of tear gas to redirect them, not to pass through the informal settlement, and they went through the tear smoke. Then stun grenades was used in order to disperse and disarm the protester, the participant. Immediately after the launching of stun grenades, the participants started to run towards the police and attacked them. Rubber shots were fired, but with no effect. The participants attacked the police, and I saw 4 of them hacked the police member with pangas and stabbed him an arrow. I approached the participant, and one of them grabbed the R5 rifle of the police officer, and they ran away with it.
Beka ngolo hlobo ukuthi kwathi kusathethwa nabo phaya ababantu bangafuna ukumamela into eyayithethwa basebesuka behamba wayesekhusha umyalelo kuba masibakhaphe ababantu sithe xa sibakhapha apho kwahanja kanje kuthe phaya basebejika besiza ngapha ngasemantshotshombeni kwasekukhusha umyalezo kokuba makudushule i-tear gas zadutshula i-tear gas bagqitha kuzo besiza kwadutshula imbumbulu zerabha bangayihoyi leyo nto ndabona abanye babo abane behlasela betha ipolisa ngepanga eze baziphethe.
What is your
athatha nombu we R5 kulo?
Chairperson, Captain Tupe, in his statement, I don't see whether he says it's me who gave the instructions to shoot the tear gas.
Andi bonanga ke apho ethe khona uCaptain Tupe ku statements zakhe okuba ndime ndakhupha lo myale.
Captain Tupe, the one who accused you at Rustenburg of having issued the order.
At Potchefstroom, I did testify.
I always say Rustenburg.
At Potchefstroom.
Yes. What exactly did he say at Potchefstroom?
At Potchefstroom, he said, and that's why the record was made by Colonel Fesser, that he heard me giving that order.
Did he say he actually heard you giving the order?
Yes.
So when he comes and makes a statement later on,
he doesn't mention
he doesn't say that?
Yes.
So we'll deal with him when he...
Siza kubonana naye nyani xa ezapha zonikeza ubungqina. Nguye lokutshola ngokuba nguwe lo wakhupha umyalelo okokuba makudutshule phaya ePotchefstroom ehlokwe. Xa esebhalisa i-statement sakhe akasayivezi loo nto hayi nyani siyawudibana naye xa efika apha.
Advocate Hemrod says to me that I may have it wrong, that Tupe may have said it at Potchefstroom, that he heard, not you give the instruction, but he heard that it was said that you gave the instruction. If that's the case, then of course what he states in his statement is perfectly consistent, because he was repeating hearsay. But you were present at Potchefstroom. What did he say, as far as you can remember?
Umama wahemraj xa mhlawumbe kwenzeke iphutha apho kuba uThupe lo wathi weva kuthiwa nguwe owayinikeza loyo myalelo kodwa ngoba wawukhona wena ePotchefstroom usiphindele wena amazwi akhe wathini?
Chairperson, I remember him saying that I did give an instruction.
Ndikhumbula esitsho kokuba ndim endanikeza loyo myalelo.
But you see the difference, the point being put to you, is did he say that he heard you giving the instruction, or did he say that he heard someone else allege that you had given the instruction? You understand the difference?
Makayichaze apha uGeneral lento kokuba uThupe wathini wathi wakuva yena ngokwakhe usigqiba lo mlayezo noma weva kuthiwa umlayezo njengaloyo ukhushwa nguwe.
Chairperson, I just want to check what I said, but I remember the issue of me giving an instruction came from Captain Tupe.
Yes, I understand that. But what I'm interested to know is did he repeat it as what we lawyers call hearsay, in other words, what he heard someone else allege, or did he say, based on his own observations, that he heard you give the instruction? maybe we'll have to look at the record on that. But as far as you can remember now, sitting there now, what can you remember did the captain say at Potchefstroom on the
Captain, Chairperson, according to my observation and how I understand him, is that I gave an instruction. But I wanted to check when I testified because it was still in my mind vividly when I...
ndisafuna ucheka njengoba ndathini apha kwintetho yam ngoba bendisayikhumbula kakuhle ngelo xesha kodwa ngokukhumbula kwam wayetshola mna kokuba ndimi le ndikhuphe lo myalelo.
Thanks, Chairperson. I have another statement, General, I wanted you to refer to.
Nese sinye statement endifuna ukusikhupha General.
The statement of Colonel Ashole Samuel Diole.
It is a statement of Colonel Diole.
Sorry, what is this an exhibit or?
It's not yet entered as an exhibit, Chairperson.
Oh, is this Diole's
statement?
Colonel Diole?
Yes.
You want that to be Triple H 32?
Yes, Chairperson.
Sizawufakwa naso njengoba unqina apha Triple H 32.
Do you know Colonel Diole, General?
Yamazi lo Colonel Captain General.
Correct, Chairperson, I know Colonel Diole.
Ewe ndiyamazi.
My instruction is that Colonel Diole, he was one of the senior police officers who was there. He was the senior police officer who was there then. Colonel Diole was the second one.
Iva kuthiwa ke nguwo ulipolisa eliphezulu phaya elandela ulanywa nguye lo Colonel Diole naye kwamanye amapolisa bephezulu.
Correct, Chairperson.
Ewe kunjalo.
Then when you go to page 6 of his statement, paragraph 22.
Xa siya phaya kwingxelo yakhe ke siyifunda njengoba eyibhalile page 22.
Are you on page 6, General?
Fike lapho Colonel.
Correct, Chairperson, I can see paragraph 22.
Ewe ndiyayibona le ntetho abuthetha othetha ngayo.
Colonel Diole is saying that paragraph 22, I did not hear Major General Mbembe say that we must follow the protesters to the copy.
Uthi andimvanga ke mna uGeneral Mbembe xa esithi sibalandele siye nabo phaya entabeni aba baqhankqalazi.
What is your comment, General, on this allegation by Colonel Diole?
Uthini ke kule ntetho eveza nguColonel Diole?
Really, how's this going to help us? Everybody else, but not everybody else, but a lot of other people say that he did say that. In fact, that's what led to the trouble. That's why people disagreed with him and remonstrated with him. And he persisted in what he'd said. Now, all that Colonel Diole says, he didn't hear it. He doesn't say it wasn't said. But everybody else appears... most of the other statements we've got seem to say it was said, that he did say follow him to the copy. Is it an issue as to whether he gave that instruction they must follow them to the copy? What do you say about all the other? You say he gave that instruction, that led to the dissatisfaction.
Bathi bamva uGeneral Mbembe kuyena onikeza le myalelo.
Your witness, so your instructions are put to the general that he did not tell the members that they must escort the miners to the strikers to the copy.
That's where I was heading, Chairperson.
Ubuninzi baba bantu bathi bonke bamva esitsho njalo uGeneral ngoku usubeka le ntetho evezwa ngulo othi akamvanga yena. Isinceda ngantoni ke lonto koluphando?
My client's version, that is Lieutenant Baloyi, General, is that indeed on that day you did not issue instruction that the police officers must escort the minors on their way on the copy. You did not give a verbal instruction to that.
Ibeka lento ke kuwe general ngoba lo ndimmele apha uBaloyi uvumelana nale ndoda kokuba awuzange ukhuphe umyalelo yokuba mabakhaphe laba bantu baye nabo pha entabeni.
Chairperson, I respect the views of Lieutenant Baloyi.
Siyayihlonipha intetho kaMhlekazi uLieutenant Baloyi.
HH3 is very clear in terms of why there was a disagreement between myself and Colonel Merafe, Lieutenant Colonel Merafe.
Ucaceka kwintetho yami HH3 apho ndichaza khona ukuba imbangela yalimbambano yabakhona phakathi kwami noMerafe kwaba yindoni yona lento sithetha ngayo.
And the majority of the members, they were saying also we were escorting them to the mountain.
Ne statement ingxelo zaba baninzi abangamapolisa apha bayayiveza loo ntetho yokuba kwakukhatshwa aba bantu bayiswa phaya kwindunduma.
I don't want to make your task more difficult than it is, but I have difficulty in understanding what exactly you put into the witness. In the light of paragraph 7 of your client's statement,
Dinengxaki ke Mhlekazi.
Triple G16.
Xa sifunda i-statement esibhalwe ngulo mntu ommele paragraph 7.
Having said in paragraph 6 how the strikers started singing and started moving forward towards the police and we allowed them to proceed, he says, he goes on to say this: when they were about 300 meters away from us, the general told us to let them go and we would disarm them at the mountain. One senior colonel, that's Merafe, I think, advised the general that if we intended to disarm them, it was better to disarm them there because at the mountain they would outnumber us. The general told us to follow them. I advised the general that stun grenades should be used to disperse them. And then he goes on how he got into the Nyala and so on. So what he says is the general told us to let them go and we would disarm them at the mountain, which obviously involves by necessary inference that they were to follow them to the mountain because that's where they were going to disarm them. But in the meanwhile, they were to let them go. Now, what exactly does he still say that? Or does he say something else? I don't understand.
Nyani le ntetho siyiveza ngoba statement asalo mntu ummele apha sichaza kakuhle kokuba bathe xa sebehambile phaya wathi uGeneral mabayekwe balandele bayothathela izixhobo phaya entabeni. Kwaba ke apho wena ngokwakho yena lo umhlekazi uBaloyi esithi masibadubule nge-stun grenades apha sibathathela izixhobo ngoba bangevani ke kukho le mbambano phakathi kwakhe nalomnye owayethi bazawuba baninzi gqitha phaya entabeni ukuba babathathele izixhobo.
Chairperson, I think on that particular aspect, I do have my client's version on that one, but I think for sake of progress, let me rather park this point. I will revisit it, then I can continue with the other aspect of my
before you answer the point, you want to take instruction. That's fair enough. Right. So you're going to move on to another point in the meanwhile.
Yes, Chairperson.
Ude ubonisane ke nalo ummele qhubeka ngezinye intetho onazo.
General, can I refer you to Exhibit WQ13? Are you in possession of Exhibit WQ13, General?
Chair, I think, there is no double Q13.
The transcript of the 13.
I don't see it also.
It's QQ3 probably.
QQ3.
Sorry, QQ2.
It should be QQ2. I do apologize, Chairperson. Mine is written WQ13. I don't know how. Okay.
Ayaxolisa umhlekazi uthe yakhe libhale kakubi QQ13.
Are you in possession of it, General?
Chairperson, mine here, which I've been given, is written QQ3. I don't know whether it's the same. Maybe if the paragraph is written, then we might.
uthi general la iphethe apha kuye ibhale QQ3 andikazi noba yiyo le kuthethwa ngayo.
I don't know, maybe the SABC can assist. It says transcript of the 13 along the railway line.
I think it's QQ2, QQ3. QQ3, this is QQ3.
You have it, General.
It has been given to me just now, Chairperson.
Ewe ndiyiphiwe ngoku ngaba abafana baphethe amaphepha apha emva kwam.
Can you go to page 6 of that document, line number 20?
Umsho number 20 kwelesithandathu ikhasi.
Chairperson, I'm just requesting the page number.
Mine is written page 6 at the top. Page 6.
Ibhaye phaa phezulu page 6 standard.
I am on page 6, Chairperson.
Ndikhona apho ke mhlekazi.
Go to line 20. Do you see it's written line 20?
I can see line 20, Chairperson.
Siya ku-20 ewe ndifikile apha.
Can I read on record what is reflected on those sentences? Line 20, one of the policemen said, our member are going to die just for shit. That's a policeman.
Kukho ipolisi elithetha apho lithi amalungu ethu azawufela into engekho apha uthetha ngento abazawufela amasimba nje into engekho.
I do apologize, Chairperson, for using the word shit. It's written here.
Uyaxolisa umhlekazi usebenzisa igama lingalunganga.
Yes.
Your machine, do you
Yes,
want to,
thank you, Chair.
You want to give us a more elegant rendering of that?
No, Chair, perhaps our learned friend is reading from a different document because the page 6 that we have on page 20, on line 20, doesn't say what he's reading.
Umhlekazi ungalanda andiyazi ukuba ithatha phi le nto umhlekazi ayifunda phaya ngoba ayikho nyani tu kweli ndilijongileyo le nto athetha ngayo.
Maybe, Chairperson, if you can compare, because the one I'm having is written like that, and my instructing attorney is shown the general.
This single one is not suggesting that you are not reading from a document that is written like that, as you put it. He's suggesting you're reading from the wrong document. That's his point. He says that there's another document that he's got, which is the right one, which says something different. I think that's his point.
Chair, let me make it clear. Thank you, Chair. Our learned friend has referred us to QQ2. We've gone to QQ2.
Uthi umhlekazi umsimangu uthe uthetha ku-QQ2. Siku-QQ2 ngoku sithetha nje.
Chair, the exhibit is exhibit RR2.
Uthi umama ubhile le nto kuthethwa ngayo RR2. Mandithi mhlekazi khawuzame nyani ukubeka izinto zakho ngohlobo sikwazi ukonga ixesha sizawuya etiyeni kwangoku.
I've got 2 documents and none of them talk about shit.
Can we have this?
The Commission resumes.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the General wasn't back with us.
Sure, perhaps.
To be fair, the General may have been called away or something. There may have been a reason why he's not here. I should have checked that he was back in the chamber before I returned. But here he comes. It's all right.
Mr. Gumbi, can I just ask you something? Yesterday, before we adjourned, you introduced Exhibit HH23, but you haven't referred to it. I'm just pointing that out to you.
Yes, I've noted that, Commissioner. I'll revisit those documents I've introduced.
Then are you going to deal with it?
Revisit it.
Are you going to revisit it?
Yes, I will revisit it.
Major General, I'm sorry, I came back in the chamber before being told that you were here. So it's my fault, so don't apologize. I apologize to you. You're still under oath. Let's carry on.
General.
Yes, Chairperson, we did manage to sort out the exhibit number of this document. It is RR2, the correct one. And I hope my learned colleagues.
That's the document with the rather strong statement of reluctance to be killed by one of the policemen on the video.
Yes, Chairperson.
What's the point you're making of it?
Yeah, I wanted to wrap up on this one before I could move to my next topic, this topic. Yes. Go to page 6, General. I'm going to read what other police officers said on that day. I see the General wanted to say something.
I still have those two, but I don't see double R here.
Double R2, I think what you mean.
Double R2.
But if you haven't got it, just listen quietly while it's reading.
Yes.
Chair, we object to the introduction of this document. Well, not introduction, but reference to this document for the purposes for which our learned friend seems to want to refer to it. This document was introduced or was allowed. In fact, initially, Mr. Mpofu wanted to use it in cross-examining the National Commissioner. There was an objection, and Mr. Mpofu withdrew it. Then Mr. Nsebeza wanted to cross-examine Mr. Matunjwa purely on the basis of what the song means. And that was the only basis on which this was allowed. There is no agreement about whether the content of what is said, the speeches that are made, are true reflection of what was said there.
Chair, just to correct one point, I think that it was initially introduced by Mr. Nsebeza during the cross-examination of Mr. Matunjwa, but it wasn't admitted for a limited purpose. And the document has been referred to since then.
Is your complaint, I mean, is this a document or a video?
It was a video, Chair, which is now transcribed.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, is your complaint that what was said was not correctly translated? I mean, the video is before us. It's not suggested as hearsay in the sense that what was said is being tended to prove the truth of what was said. What, as I understand it, is being tended. It simply illustrates that is what was said. Now, do you complain about the translation, or what's your objection?
Well, we complain about the accuracy of what is purported to have been said there. In any event, we couldn't even hear.
I'm sorry, you're not answering my question. This is a policeman apparently giving an explanation of what he thinks the members are going to die for. Now, it's not being tended to prove that that's what they were going to die for. Am I correct, Mr. Gumbi? You're just putting it in to show that that's what was said. I don't know where this point's going to take you, but perhaps you can take us into your conference about that in a moment. But the first point is, you want to establish that that is what was said, not to prove that what was said was true. Is that correct?
That's
Is that
correct,
right?
Chairperson. Yes.
Right. Now, therefore,
We dispute that was what was said, Chair. That's the simple point.
but didn't we hear it on the video?
No, no one can hear it.
That's the problem.
We didn't hear this.
The whole question was whether it was...
The National Committee...
Oh, the whole question is whether it was correctly transcribed. All right, okay. We haven't seen the video. Now,
We've seen the video, we can't hear it.
Absence the video having been heard by us personally, or agreement as to the accuracy of the transcription, then isn't Mr. Ngulwana right? You know, you already, as you put it, parked one point to deal with later. Maybe this is one that should go to the same car park and you move on to the next one. And you could bring it back later if you can show, by reference to the video, that it indeed is what was said, and that the translation thereof is correct. That's something maybe you can sort out with your learned friend after we've adjourned. But let's not waste time on it at the moment.
Yes,
Get on to the
Chairperson.
next point. I gather you're not going to finish by the end of today.
Yes,
So
Chairperson.
maybe you can greet us on the morrow with this point.
Yes, I can
Do-
proceed
do
to
we-
another point,
do we sort of-
then I can park again this one. Then I will sort out with my learned colleagues.
Kwimpikisano ebikhona ke ngendlela ekuvele ngayo leyo daba okanye indlela echaze ngalo umnumzana kuzawuthi ayeme ngalena uzawuphinda azame ukubuyela kuyo ngomso azokwazi ukubuza ngayo.
General, it was your testimony before this commission that later on, after that incident, you had a briefing with the National Commissioner.
General ubungqina bakho ba emveni kokwesisiganeko uye waya wothethathethana nomcommissioner.
Not immediately after, but at about 1800.
Anzange ndithethe naye emva koko kodwa ehambeni kwexesha ngabo 4 kuya ko-6.
Yes, I agree with you. Then you made a statement about what happened on the 13th of August 2012, a handwritten one.
Uye wachaza wenza istatement uba kwenzekani ngomhla we-13 August esibhalwe ngesandla.
Chairperson, I did the statement, but not to the National Commissioner, but to Brigadier Van Zyl.
Ewe istatement ndasenza kodwa zange ndisenze kumcommissioner welizwe ndasenza ku-Brigadier Van Zyl.
Can I refer to your statement that was entered here as an exhibit, Triple H 13?
Singabela kwi-statement esiwasenzayo esibhalwe u-Triple H 13.
That's a handwritten one that you signed on the 13th of August around 6 o'clock.
Kweso sibhalile wasayina ngomhla we-13 August ngabo 6.
I have it, Chairperson.
When you check to paragraph 3 until to from paragraph, if I may say, paragraph 4, not paragraph 3.
Bungajonga phaya kusuka kumhlathi wesine.
Will I be correct that in your statement, nothing is indicated that members on that day fired tear gas or used force without your instruction?
Ukuya ngokwa statement sezo akhonto echaza ukuba amalungu amapolisa asebenzisa i-tear gas ngaphandle komnayelelo wakho.
Do you agree with me?
Ngabe uyavumelana nami?
Chairperson, may I get the question clear?
Ngiyafumana umbuzo kakuhle.
From paragraph 3, from paragraph 4, or from any paragraph of your statement, can you quote the sentence which say that members on the 13th of August 2012 fired tear gas stand grenade without your instruction? Or used force without your instruction?
ungake kutsho mhlambe nandawo na ku statement sakho ba amalungu amapolisa ayasebenzisa igrenade okanye ayasebenzisa amandla engafumana ngamyalelo suka kuwe?
Chairperson, in paragraph 4, it states that the tear gas was used, but I've been consistent to say that I did not give the instruction. It's true that in my statement, I didn't say that members did use a tear gas without my instruction.
Mhlali ngaphambili kumhlathi wesine yathi ba i-tear gas zasetshenziswa kodwa andizange ndikhuphe imiyalelo lokho bengisoloko ndisithi ba wasetshenziswa ama-grenade kodwa andizange ndikhuphe imiyalelo ukuthi makawusebenzise.
Will I be correct, General, that this incident was still fresh in your memory? Why you did not point out that members on the 13th of August 2012 fired or discharged their ammunition without your instruction as an operational commander?
Ndikaba ndiyanyanisa General xa ndithi lento ibisentsha apha engqondweni kuwe. Ke ngoku kutheni ungakhange uyichaze estatement sakho ba amalungu amapolisa asebenzisa ama-grenade okanye asebenzisa amandla engafumananga myalelo suka kuwe?
Chairperson, I did testify when I was asked by the then Advocate Madlanga that the purpose of this statement, it was for the case. It was not for me to explain any other matters according to Brigadier Van Zyl.
Mhlala ngaphambili ndanditshilo nangoko ndandibuzwa ngumnumzana uMadlanga uba istatement esindandisenzela nje okwetyala ndingachazanga nto ziyephi njengokuba umnumzana uVan Zyl ebelindele.
When you brief the National Commissioner, before we can go to the issue of briefing the National Commissioner, you and me, if may I rephrase it, Chairperson, will you agree with me, General, that the firing of tear gas, stun grenade without your instruction as an operational commander is contrary to Standing Order 262, read together with other police document dealing with crowd management of the SAPS?
Ungavumelana nami ke General xa ndisithi ukudutyulwa kwe-grenade okanye ukusetshenziswa ngamandla ngaphandle komyalelo wakho kuphikisana nomthetho we-262 okanye neminye imithetho eyamisana nokusetshenziswa kokulawula uluntu?
Chairperson, Standing Order 262, paragraph 11.5. It was deliberated much more, and I also did indicate that in a big operations, section commanders, and it was made clear by the Honorable Chairperson to say that according to the Standing Order, it should be given by the command, and I did agree.
Njengokwazi kwami ke umyalelo we-262 kulamhlathi we-11.5 uyachaza uba ujongiselele kwabo bangabaphathi njengoba nami nandiyichazile ngaphambili.
And in our case, it's extremely worse because as a result of that, there was a conflict between the police and the protesters, and Warrant Officer Lepak, Warrant Officer Lemonende, and Lieutenant Boloi. The two were killed, and Lieutenant Boloi survived that killing. He was injured. Would you agree with me?
Ndikatsho ke ukuthi ngokolento sijongene nayo Lieutenant Monene no Lieutenant Paku baye basweleka kulo nto yayenzeka kwaye Lieutenant Baloyi waye wonzakala yini?
Chair, this is an unfair question to the witness. Firstly, my learned friend cannot draw a link between the lack of instruction being given and the death of people. That's the first thing. The second thing is what he's asking the witness to say is something about which this commission is here to determine. It's a totally unacceptable question, Chair, with respect.
Mhlala ngaphambili umbuzo lo noko awumhlanga ngoba awunokwazi ukunxulumanisa ukusweleka kwabantu kunye nokunganikwa komyalelo kwaye umbuzo lo ubuzayo ikomishini ezokwazi ukuthatha isigqibo kuyo.
Chairperson, is a common cause that on that day, as the general is contending that he didn't issue instruction, tear gas, stun grenade were fired. As a result of that, there was a conflict between the police and the protesters. Is the common causes there. As a result of that, 2 police officers were killed and 1 was injured. Those are the facts before this commission, unless my learned colleagues is...
What's your question?
I was putting
What's your question?
I was putting a proposition to say 2 police officers... I was putting a proposition to a witness, Chairperson, that police officers on that day, they fire stun grenade or tear gas without general's instruction. And he denied that. Then my proposition was, as a result of that, there was a conflict between the police and the marchers, and 2 police officers were killed and 1 was injured. Is there? That's a proposition I was putting.
You know, counsel don't just put propositions to witnesses, they ask them questions. Now, what exactly is the question you put?
Yes.
I was rereading his evidence yesterday, and there's a passage long ago when I used the expression funk, the spark that caused the trouble, was the tear gas and the stun grenade. And he agreed with that. But that's not relevant on questions of culpability and so on. But what is the question you're putting to him? I mean, what answer do you want from him?
Yes, that's a proposition. I was going to ask my question again.
Well, ask your question.
Yes, let me do that, Chairperson. When you briefed the National Commissioner, General, did you inform the National Commissioner that on that day, you as an operational commander, members under your command, fire tear gas, stun grenade without your instruction? Did you inform the National Commissioner?
Thetha no commissioner welizwe lonke wena njengo commissioner ophondo ingabe wamcela na uba amanye amalungu amapolisa adubula ama tear gas ngaphandle komyalelo wakho?
Chairperson, what I informed the National Commissioner is that the tear gas was used by Warrant Officer Kuhn, who said that he had an instruction. And I did indicate that he does not know which instruction, who gave the instruction, but I did not give him the instruction.
Ngaphambi xa ngixelela umcommissioner welizwe lonke ndachaza uba umnumzana uKhuni nguye wadubula i-hand grenade kwaye wayevile umyalezo kodwa engazi uba uvela kubani umyalezo lo.
But the National Commissioner testified before this commission. She did not testify to that effect, that you informed her that...
Was she asked anything about it? Did she deal with the topic of the details of the instructions she received, information she received from the witness?
Yes, Chairperson, she didn't go to that extent.
Well, I mean, how can you then put the point you're putting to the witness? I mean, if she'd been asked a question and given an answer which conflicts with what he now says, that's something you can put. But the point wasn't raised with her at all. A lot of other points were raised with her, which she had some difficulty in dealing with because she wasn't there at the time. But she wasn't asked that question, which is something she could have been asked because it dealt with something that was said to her or allegedly said to her when she came to Marikana. Now, absent evidence of that kind from her or any questions in that regard addressed to her, how can you put the point you've now put to the witness? I think that's correct.
It's fair enough, Chairperson. I'm happy to move to another point again. General Mbombo, did you inform me about this?
Chairperson, I testified that I phoned General Mbombo while I was still on the scene, and she was on her way to Poch, and she came back. And I did inform her exactly as I've said now.
Mhlala ngaphambili ndatsho uba uGeneral Mbombo ndaye ndamfonela ndisekwa kuloo ndawo yesehlakalo waye esendleleni ePotchefstroom waye wajika wabuya.
And then General Allendale, who testified before this commission again, he testified that you relate to him about what happened on the 13th of August 2012. Did you inform him about this, that the police fired tear gas and grenade without your instruction?
General Allendale oyewanika ubungqina phambi kwale commission uyatshuba wayomazisa ngesihlakalo ingaba wayomazisa na uba kukho amalungu amapolisa ayadubula i-tear gas ne-hand grenade ngaphandle komyalelo wakho?
I informed him the same as I informed the National Commissioner.
Ndamcelela ngale ndlela ndandicele ngayo umcommissioner welizwe lonke.
You further justify here, General, that you had a debriefing that afternoon on the 13th of August 2012.
Uyatsho kwakhona ukuthi ngenjikalanga yalo mina nge-13 August 2012 naye uthethathethana ngokwezehlakalo ezenzeke ngosuku olo.
Chairperson, I'm requesting that may I be referred to the script where I said we had, because I know how...
Wait. Before you carry on with that, something I want to raise, Mr. Gumbi. You remember when Advocate Jelly was cross-examining, there was a bit of a confusion because the word debriefing is ambiguous. It can either relate to a debriefing in the sense of getting the person's story of what happened, which is sort of a factual debriefing, and the other debriefing is a sort of therapeutic debriefing, where a psychologist or a counselor or something of that kind talks to a person who's had a traumatic experience and tries to help them through it. Now, a lot of documents were put before us indicated that people had had a debriefing. And it turned out the point that was trying to be made was it was a factual debriefing. And in the end, the point disappeared because it was a therapeutic debriefing. Now, when you ask the witness, did you have a debriefing, you must make clear which of the two you refer to. Now, let me ask the question. On that day of the 13th, did you speak to a counselor or a psychologist? Did you receive what one can call therapeutic debriefing to help you to deal with the traumatic experience that you've gone through witnessing this attack upon your police members? Did you have that kind of briefing?
Correct, Chairperson, and also members were there. They also went through that.
All right. Now,
emva kwelusuku uyavuma uJenerali babaye bakwazi ukuthethathethana nabononhlanonhla abakwaziyo ukuthetha nabantu abeke babona iziganeko ezibuhlungu ukuzama ukubathumalalisa ingqondo.
Yes, Chairperson. I was referring to the debriefing with members, factual debriefing with members. Report back. Did you have a factual debriefing with members or report back from the members that afternoon, General?
Umbuzo ofuna uqonda uba ingaba wakwazi ukuthethanana namanye amalungu amapolisa okufuna ukuqonda ukufumana ingxelo yokwenzekile ngolosuku.
Chairperson, I did indicate that what happened on that day is that the members themselves, they spoke to their commanders. We only met with the commanders of those members, but not with the members themselves.
Mhlala ngaphambili endikutsho okanye endakutsho kuba amalungu awo athetha nabo babongameleyo kulo msebenzi.
Does that mean that you didn't have a factual debriefing, if one can use that expression, yourself?
Correct, Chairperson.
What you did, we know, is you made a short statement at about 6 o'clock that evening, which is filed in the in the case docket, which is Exhibit HH 13, which you gave a short summary of what happened, and then later on you made fuller statements. Is that correct?
Correct, Chairperson.
Akwenza ukuchaza na kwingxelo eku-HH 13 kuba wayenza istatement inyana nje esithile nokuva uba kuqhubekeni kumakomanda ayo ekhona.
So the debriefing you had with commanders involved all the commanders of those units, will I be correct, who were there along the railway line?
The same to say he had a debriefing. He said he said the opposite. He said the commanders had sessions with their members.
Yes.
He said he himself didn't have a debriefing. He said he wrote a short statement to put in the docket, and then on a subsequent occasion, or subsequent occasions, he made further statements. But that's as far as evidence goes, as I understand. Am I right?
Correct, Chairperson. And meeting with the commanders, it was already on the 14th. Chairperson knows that I did meet the commanders at that time, but not on the 13th.
Njengoba esitsho uJenerali ba akazange ahlale nabo afune ingcombolo zokwenza ngosuku kwayenza nje istatement inyana uyikomanda zona waye wadibana nazo ngomhla we-14 hayi ngomhla we-13 kaAugust 2012.
Yes, General, can I refer you to another document, SAPS document, dealing with crowd management? It's for platoon commanders briefing and debriefing. It's contained in one of my documents while we're dealing with this aspect.
Singake siye kwenye ke iweb olukhona apha le SAPS olithetha ngokwe platoon commanders briefing and debriefing.
Chair, the document is G25.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yona ivela njengo G25.
The one that says he remains in overall charge, in charge. Overall.
Yeah, this one. Are you in possession of that document, General? G25?
Yes, Chairperson, I do have it.
What page?
General.
Can you go to page 8, General?
Kuphepha lesibhozo.
Yes, it's titled Documentation, paragraph 12. When you read paragraph 12 of that document, it's saying that after every debriefing session, a brief report should be compiled by the section platoon commander and filed together with preparation order for the period of 5 years. Do you see that?
Yona echaza ukuba emva kwekuba kuthethiwe kufumana ingcombolo zobe kwenzeka kuye kubhalwe ingcombolo ngu-section commander okanye platoon commander ayibeke igcinwe kweminyaka emihlanu.
Yes, Chairperson, I can see it.
Uyayibona General?
So, do we have a debriefing report from commanders who were involved?
Ingaba sinayo na ingcela yenkcukacha eyenziwe ngamakomanda awo?
That was filed to you, in fact, General.
Chairperson, I don't understand the question properly because I did testify that the incident of the 13, the operation was still on because the people were still at the copy. I don't know whether that was seen as a separate operation. And here also what is confusing me, it's a platoon commander, and I was not a platoon commander. It was a completely different situation.
Mr. Gumi, as far as I can recall, this point was dealt with before. It dealt with when General Annandale was in the box, was at the witness table, sorry. And the point made was that they decided not to have a debriefing. This is what they do when they have a debriefing. They decided not to have a debriefing, despite the fact that the standing order says they should, because they thought the matter would be dealt with before the Commission. And what they had instead was a meeting at Potch where they tried to sort out the facts and work out their presentation. But the decision was taken not to have a debriefing, as I understand it. If I'm wrong, I'll be corrected. And I seem to remember that Mr. White actually said he could understand it in the circumstances. And the matter was left there, really. But the decision not to have a debriefing was not taken in any event by this witness. So anyway, let's clarify. Am I correct in thinking there wasn't a debriefing? The decision was taken not to have a debriefing because the day after the 16th, it was already announced that they were going to, a commission was going to be appointed.
Correct, Chairperson.
But the decision not to have a debriefing, but rather prepare for the commission and to cooperate fully with the commission, was not taken by you. I take it was taken by the National Commissioner herself. Is that right? Or perhaps the Provincial Commissioner. It wasn't taken by you. Am I right?
Chairperson, it was not by me, but it was the discussion amongst the officers and the decision was taken there. But also, and when the Provincial Commissioner asked me the reasons as overall commander, I did also agree on what was discussed amongst myself, General Edendale, General Naidu, and the Provincial Commissioner herself.
Isigqibo soba ungabikho ingcelo ebhalwayo engcombolo ezenzeka ngosuku sayisathathwa kuba kukhona onke ama-ofisi ayelapho kuba kwase kucacile ukuba emva kwe-16 years kwakuzoba khona ikomishini lesihleli kuyo namhlanje.
So this decision you are talking about, General, I wanted to be clear on it. Was it taken on the 13th or was it taken after the 13th?
It was taken after the event, wasn't it? When was the decision taken not to have a debriefing, but rather wait for the commission? Was that taken after the 16th?
Yeah, after the 16th when the commission was announced. But Advocate Chairperson, the advocate asked me about why I did not debrief the people on the 13th. I think he's there.
Yeah.
And I've said it several times that we did not see the 13th as a separate operation from that one of the 16th.
Isigqibo sokungathathi ezo ngcombolo zibhalwe phansi sibekwe ngemva kwe-16.
You had a number of other things to deal with from the 13th onwards. There wasn't time, I assume, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I would have thought you had a serious crisis on your hands that you had to deal with. And only when that was over would you have had time and opportunity to do a debriefing as envisaged in this document and the other documents. Is that correct?
Correct, Chairperson.
By that time, it was announced that there was going to be a commission, and so the other decision was taken that you referred to. Is that right?
Correct, Chairperson.
I don't want to stop you, but it does sound, as if this point isn't going to take us anywhere. But maybe you've got better points that you could raise.
Yes, if I can ask one or two questions on this one before I can proceed, Chairperson. General, the IPD, was it investigating already on the 13th?
Generally, IPD babeseyiqalile ukwenza uphenyo lwayo kusukela ngomhla we-13.
Correct, Chairperson. I did indicate that the IPD was called to attend the scene on the 13th.
Hlala ngaphambili ndiyathi uba i-IPD yaseyibiziwe uba ibe khona izojonga izehlakalo zangomhla we-13.
According to your knowledge, is there any statement, a written statement filed by all members of the unit who were there as from the 13th to the IPD?
Ukuya ngokwazi kwakho ingaba kukhona mhlawumbe i-statement sithile esibhalwe ngomnye noba ngomphi na wamalungu amapolisa ayasinikeza i-IPD.
I don't understand what you're talking about, Mr. Governor. You've already put in a couple of statements that were actually IPD statements made by members of the police service who were present on the 13th. So we know that IPD people did investigation. They took some statements, at least, which you put before us. What's your question? Do you want to know whether they questioned every one of the police men or women who were on the scene? Or
yes,
what exactly do you want to know?
Because some of the statements, they are not dated. That's why some of the statements, they are not dated. So that's why I wanted to clarify.
Well, they're not detailed, but I mean, that's not the witness's fault. That's not the witness's fault.
Yes.
That's a matter you could ask if it ever became necessary of the IPD people. But subject to what people may say, I'm not disposed to embark upon an inquiry as to the adequacy or otherwise of the IPD investigation. I think we've got enough other matters to look at. But what exactly is the point you're trying to make? You must forgive my inability to understand it.
No, it's fair enough, Chairperson. If I wanted to check with the witness whether he's aware, is there any written statement that was made on the 13th? Because according to our analysis of the statement, we have some of them, they are not dated. We are not sure whether they were taken exactly on the 13th or maybe they were taken after the 14th.
Into umnumzana uGumbe azama ukuqonda ba ingaba ukhona na i-statement ezenziwa kanye ngalamhla we-13 okanye kusukela apho ngoba kukhona i-statement ezininzi ezingabhalwanga i-date ezenziwe ngazo.
You understand, the question relates to whether you know whether any of the IPD statements were taken, I take it, on the period from the 13th to the 16th. Is that what you want to know, Mr.
Yes.
Do you know the answer to that? Were you involved in any way with the IPID investigation?
No, Chairperson. The only thing that I know is that I must only inform IPID when a police official has discharged a firearm, that I did, and I did make sure that they know that they should attend the scene. And what I know is only that IPID work independently from SABC.
IPID interview you?
No, Chairperson.
mhlala ngaphambili enikwaziyo cha kuba xa ngaba kunelinye ilungu lapolisa elela dubula ngompuwalo kufuna ndicelele iPid izokwazi ukwenza uphando oluphambili kwaye futhi iPid xa isebenza ayisebenzi inxulumene neSABC isebenzela izimele iyodwa.
Sigumbi, I am informed by someone who knows about these matters that what often happens with an IPID investigation is they take a statement and then the last page is the attestation section. You know, it's a erroneous form, the attestation part. And on that they put the dates. And what we've been given are some of the IPID statements minus that last erroneous attestation page upon which the date appears. So if it's relevant for you to ascertain the dates upon which particular statements were made, I suggest you address an inquiry to IPID, or possibly through the evidence leaders, or directly yourself, to ascertain where the originals are and whether the particular statements that you're interested in, whether the attestation certificates are available, which will give the dates that you want. But let's not spend any more time on it now. Make those inquiries. You may draw a blank, alternatively you may hit the jackpot, but whether you will or not, the matter we don't know the answer to at the moment.
Yes, I understand, Chairperson. I will engage the evidence leaders after I've received the instruction.
In particular, you're interested in the dates of.
Yes, Chairperson, I will do that.
Njengoba kuchazwa ke ukusebenza kwayo iPid iyabhala nje statement ibe seyozibhala epolice station apho izobhala khona ama date wakhona ba esesabhalwa ngePid date uba ngaba umnumzana Gumbi unomdla kuzo khona into azoyibuza angakwazi ukwenza isicelo kubazisi bobungqina ngaphambili mhlawumbe ngamncedisa kolohlo.
Let us move on, General. While we were at Potchefstroom preparing for this commission, and while we were in the process of preparing Exhibit L that was presented before this commission.
Hang on a second. That makes an assumption which may not be accurate. Are you suggesting that this witness was involved in preparing Exhibit L?
If I can...
Because you made it as a statement design, so it may not be right. Maybe you should ask him. Because my impression is that the responsibility for the contents, the accuracy, or in some cases possibly the inaccuracy of statements made in Exhibit L doesn't rest with this witness, but possibly with others.
Yes, Chairperson.
So perhaps ask the question directly first.
A direct question. Let us start with the Potchefstroom meeting, General. At Potchefstroom, while we were there preparing for this commission, did you inform all the officials who were there that members fired without your instruction there at Potchefstroom?
He's already said that. I don't know whether everybody was in the room, but he's told us on several occasions that he said that the shots were fired, the tear gas, etc., was fired without his instruction, and then we've heard there was a debate. Someone said they heard he had given the instruction. Kim was the man who'd fired it, was there. He said he heard an instruction, he didn't know who it was from. That all happened at Potchefstroom. And his statement that he didn't give the instruction was made there. They say whether everybody was there is another matter. But certainly he's told us several times what happened on that occasion. I think you're really repeating a matter that's been dealt with in detail already. If there's a new angle on it that you want to raise, I won't stop you, but don't just repeat points we know already.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. General, can I refer you to SAPS opening statement presented before this commission?
General, ngayisiphindele kwingqale SAPS xa ibivula apha.
The opening statement is an exhibit.
It is an exhibit, yes, Chairperson.
Perhaps we can be told what the exhibit number is, and then
Triple F9, Chairperson.
Nakesijonga ku triple F9.
what's the point you want to make about that? Because I take it it's not suggested that this witness had a hand in the opening statement, or is it? Did you have anything to do with this, with the content of the opening statement of the SAPS before the Commission?
No, Chairperson.
Umhlali ngaphambili uyabuza uba ingaba ugeneral unolwazi na statement sokuvula samapolisa ugeneral akayazi lo.
But it was contained on the document I gave to you for reading. You did have an opportunity to read through it, General.
It's correct, Chairperson, but when advocate gives me the document, I cannot deny to study it.
Umnumzana ukumbutsho ebemnikile kumaxwebhe bezofuna uba ajonge kuwe kwaye ebemnikile ukwazile ukufunda igeneral.
I can understand there may be some factual averment in the opening statement which in all probability must have emanated from this witness. So clearly that's something you can ask him about. But you can't ask him general questions about the opening statement. This is wasting time. But is there some particular paragraph that you want to rely on that you say he must be the original informant upon whose information that statement was based, and you want to question him about that? If that's what you want to do, carry on.
That's why I wanted to do, Chairperson. That's why I referred these witnesses. I was going to refer to the paragraph that I wanted to rely on. I was not going to use the whole document.
Tell him what the paragraph is, and let's get on with it.
Go to paragraph 44.2.
Ku paragraph 44 mhlambe ngakhona into anganolwazi layo general kulapha azobuzwa khona imibuzo.
Maybe if you can take it from paragraph 44.1 to paragraph 44.2, dealing with the incident of the 13th of August 2012.
Bungasoka lapha ku paragraph 44.1 kuya ku paragraph 44.2.
For easy reference, General, can I read it for you? Paragraph 44.1 and 44.2. If your Chairperson can allow me.
I haven't got my copy here, so I'd be very grateful if you read it out for us. They found it for us on the, they put it on the screen, but for the benefit of those who can't read the screen, by the time shooting occurs around the kraal on the afternoon of Thursday, 16 August, this is the passage you want. Numerous attempts by senior officers, including General Mpembe, Lieutenant Colonel McIntosh, had already been made since Monday, 13 August 2012, to persuade protesters to disarm. They had refused and proceeded to a copy, killing 2 police officers and severely injuring another on their way there. They had also robbed the police officers they killed and injured of 2 pistols, an R5 rifle, a shotgun, a police 2-way radio, and ammunition. You want to read 2 as well, subparagraph 2 as well?
44.2.
Tear gas, stun grenades, and rubber bullets had been used to disperse them and stop them going into a residential informal settlement. None of these measures deterred them. That was Monday, 13 August 2012.
Yes, General. Do you see that in that 2 paragraph the Chairperson read to you? It's nothing that is indicated that members fired tear gas without any instruction.
General uba ngabe uyayibona lemihlathi emibini ifunwe ngumhlali ngaphambili akhonto echaza uba amalungu amapolisa ayadubula i-tear gas ngaphandle komyalelo wakho.
I can see it, Chairperson.
Ndiyayibona mhlali ngaphambili.
Same apply when you go to...
Sorry, Mr. Goodman. He's already told us, as we've discussed already several times, that when he was at Potchefstroom, he told the people concerned who were drafting Exhibit L that he didn't give instructions for the tear gas and stun grenades. For some reason or other, the persons who drafted L and those who drafted the opening statement didn't consider that statement, the statement he'd made, material enough to include. I'm not sure that may be a ground of criticism. There may be all sorts of things that will flow from that. But I'm not sure that this witness can be held responsible for the omission of that fact because he wasn't a party to that, was he?
Yes, Chairperson.
And Mr. Lee, it may or may not be correct to say, presumably it may be argued before us, that the complete picture wasn't put before us because that fact wasn't disclosed. But we're not busy with that at the moment, and it's not his fault. If someone is to blame for that, I don't say anyone is to blame, but if someone is to blame, it's not the gentleman sitting at the witness table at the moment, is it?
I don't understand, Chairperson. I can move again to another aspect on this one, but I wanted to refer the witness to Exhibit L. Then I will establish whether he knows the content of Exhibit L.
You better tell us again what slide in L you're referring to, because
I'll focus on the incident of the 13th, that's slide number 47. Are you in position of Exhibit L, General?
No, Chairperson.
General.
on the screen above you.
I'll look it at the screen, Chairperson.
Can I read it to you? The SAPS perspective of what happened on the 13th. On their way to the copies, some of the protesters changed direction toward the village to prevent them from entering.
For the benefit of those who are going to read the record later, you're quoting slide 47, aren't you?
Yes, slide 47.
Go slide 47,
The first bullet saying that on their way to the copies, some of the protesters changed their direction towards the village.
Endleleni yapha phezulu endulini abanye abaqhankqalazi baye batshintsha indlela bayanga kulo ndawo ihlala abantu.
To prevent them from entering the village, police used tear gas and stun grenade to disperse the protesters, discouraging them from their intended path.
Ukubanqandela uba bangangeni kulo ndawo ihlala abantu, amapolisa asebenzisa i-tear gas nama stun grenade ukuzama ukuba hlula futhi ukuba zame ubavalela uba bangakwazi ukuya ngalo ndlela bebezimisele ukuyithatha.
With their dangerous weapons, a group of protesters turned around and charged at the members behind them.
Ngezixhobo zabo ezinobungozi ababeziphethe abaqhankqalazi bajika baya kwelo cala amalungu amapolisa ayesemfeni kwabo.
Two of the members of the police who died at the scene were retreating and firing at their protesters with shotgun rubber bullets until they were overpowered and hacked to death.
Amabini amalungu amapolisa la aswelekela kulo ndawo ayebuyela emva edubula ama shotgun nama rubber bullets kude kufikele kwelo xesha baye behlulwa ngamandla babe sebexatyelwa bude bafa.
Will agree with me, General, summing up this point that it's nothing that is suggested that members fired without your instruction here.
Ungavumela nami ke General xa nisho ba kule ngxelo akho nto ichaza uba kukho amalungu ayadubula ngaphandle komyalelo wakho.
Isn't this the same point as the one we discussed a few minutes ago? He wasn't responsible for compiling L. If the fact that no instruction was given is relevant, and its omission is unfortunate and may give rise to discussion, it's not discussion that involves him, because he told that to the people at Potchefstroom. They chose not to put it here. It's a question they can be asked about, but not him, surely. I understand if he hadn't said anything at Rustenburg. I always call it Rustenburg, at Potchefstroom. You could then say, well, by implication, he was admitting that he did give an instruction, or there was no problem of a lack of instruction. But in the light of his evidence repeated over and over again that he didn't give the instruction, then the fact that the people who drafted this document chose not to mention what he had said it's not a matter you can take up with him. It's not his fault, is it?
Yes, I'll be happy, Chairperson, if we can do that by establishing to the witness whether he contributed during the draft of this document. I think it will be
L was produced, I think by I think the evidence wasn't Colonel Fisser and Colonel Scott. They were the people that did it in the end, as far as I can recall the evidence. Based upon what had been said by the various participants at Potchefstroom, he was one of those participants. He said, I didn't give the instruction. So How could you take any further? I don't want to stop you if there's some point I'm overlooking, but as I see it, there's no point in trying to beat him about the head on this point, because he's not responsible for the omission, is he?
I understand, Chairperson. I wanted to establish from him whether he contributed on this document. Maybe if I can get the answer from the witness.
Do you have any hand in, did play any role in the actual drafting of this document, Exhibit L?
Chairperson, I only participate, and I also told them that I did not give the instruction. But I was not responsible to ultimately draw Exhibit L and bring it to the commission.
Xa kubuzwa ke uGental uba kunesandla asifakayo na ekubhalweni kwale ngxelo ePotchefstroom, uyathi uGental uba wayekhona nje ukuncedisa kodwa ekubhalweni kwayo ayinguye obebhala kwaye ebechazile ngaphambili uba wayechazile inoba amapolisa adubula ngaphandle komyalelo wakhe. Into yokuba ayibhalwanga apha nomhlali ngaphambili uyathi ukuthi asinoyibeka emagxeni kaGeneral.
Chairperson, with your leave, I see it's almost 20 to 4. And I think...
Proposing to go on to 4 o'clock, because we did lose a bit of time on other matters, and it is, as we've heard, we've got serious problems in trying to finish our work in the time allotted to us. So I'm loath to give it adjournment now, unless you can tell me there's a reason why you need an adjournment now, you want to take instructions, you're not able to proceed, something of that kind. I won't view such a request unsympathetically, but time is a precious resource for us.
There are a few instructions I wanted to take, Chairperson, then so that when I proceed with my cross-examination, then I'm sure what I'm going to...
What else you can deal with now?
I saw it was almost 20 to 4 o'clock.
Oh, I know, exactly. I was proposing to go to 4 o'clock.
I propose to adjourn now so that...
You'll adjourn now, I see. Shall we carry on without you?
Yes, we can carry on tomorrow.
No, you didn't hear me. So you're going to adjourn now. Shall we carry on without you?
No.
Who decides on adjournments in this commission, you or me? If you've got a good reason for an adjournment, give it to me and I'll give you the adjournment. But don't arrogate to yourself hours of adjournment that you haven't got.
Thank you, Chairperson. Yes, I propose adjournment now, then so that I can take further instruction.
Further instructions?
Yes, Chairperson.
All right. We will start again tomorrow at 9 o'clock, I hope. And for the benefit of those who've forgotten our sitting times on Fridays, we normally adjourn at 1 o'clock. So we'll like to carry on to 1 o'clock tomorrow, starting at 9. And do you anticipate that you'll be finished your cross-examination
tomorrow?
By 1 o'clock tomorrow?
Yes,
if not before?
Yes, Chairperson. It can be before.
Obviously, it depends upon what we call injury time and points that arise and so forth.
Yes.
Dealing with such objections as may be raised and so forth. But as you see it, we should finish your cross-examination by then.
Yes, Chairperson.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gumbi. We'll see you on the morrow, 9 o'clock.
Yes, Chairperson.
Ake ikomishani yema ukufihla ngomso entsimbi yethoba ekuseni.
Doesn't know there's something called a coup d'etat.
1999 and Rear Admiral January